Hey guys, well, welcome back. So today I decided I should discuss something that is near and dear to my past. Not to my heart, to my past. It's been on my mind for the past week or so because last weekend I actually had a conversation about this with one of my friends, and I told her, sometimes I feel like an old woman because I have lived my teenage years through the ages of like 4 to 9, and that I'm currently living in my elderly years. Yes, that's right, elderly years. And I'm talking like not like 90s, more like 60s, possibly 70s. I'm just trying to say I'm an old woman. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm basically an old woman. I'm gonna tell you why. Many of you know I have a sister. She is about 10 years older than I am, so no, actually she's exactly 11 years older than I am. When I was born, she was 11, and so around the ages of like 4 or 5, she started high school. She was in high school. How old are people when they start high school? I never know. Around the age of 3, fine. Ages from 3 to 9, so for 6 years of my life. About when I was around 3 years old, she was about 14, give or take. She just started high school as always. And well, when you start high school, everyone's awkward, everyone's terrible, everyone's just a basic human being. But then there's some of those people that you just know they are going to be popular. My sister was one of those people. I will admit it, she's a pretty girl. She's very smart, she's overcome a lot, all that little jazz right there. But she became a popular girl because, she's pretty, she's smart, she was funny, she was athletic, just the list goes on. She had a lot of friends, a few boyfriends here and there, and of course, she was just overall amazing, I guess. And for some reason, me being, 3, I was shown off. I was just precious little baby. For some reason, my sister decided to show me off as a kid, and everyone just treasured me, thought of me as being a precious little baby. They just found me to be, precious. I was just a precious little girl that my sister thought she can prance around, that I was basically, she showed me off like a little doll. From the years of like more like freshman year to senior year, my sister showed me off to all of her high school friends, mostly her boyfriends, her best friends, and her basketball teammates, her volleyball teammates, her track mates, her baseball mates, basically everyone in the entire school, even some of her guy friends, her coaches, her teachers. I one time shadowed her and went with her everywhere to class for some reason. My sister, like I said, she was a popular girl, so I remember I would always go to her every single practice that she went to because, she didn't know how to drive yet, because my family's just one of those people who don't let their children drive until the age of 18 when it's time for them to, go off into the real world. So I went to pretty much all of my sister's practices and meets and games, everything. My sister was an overall pretty good athletic girl, I guess. One of the top shooters of her team and one of the top players in almost every team that she was on. They would always have like these parties or like to get-togethers for all the teammates when they won a game or something, which was a lot, and my sister would always go. And every once in a while, she would be like, Melinda, you wanna come with me? And I would go with her. Heck yeah, I want to experience the teenage life so I know what I'm up for in about 10 years. Spoiler alert, it never happens. I went to a lot of parties. I got to experience the teenage life for, like I said, for the 4 years she was in high school. I met a lot of teenage boys and I talked to them and they thought I was just precious. And one of them was actually my sister's boyfriend at the time, and he would sometimes watch me while she went off somewhere with her friends. I know it sounds like a terrible babysitter, but in reality, I got to talk to some people and socialize, but yet somehow I am still an awkward mess. It was just, like I said, I experienced a teenage life. It was fascinating. Got to hear the songs of the early 2000s, 2006 mostly. Got to learn some dance moves. Don't remember any single one of them. Learned some high school algebra. Picked up on some pickup lines are now cheesy as heck. I saw a lot. I visited a lot. I was living through my childhood years as a teenager. Now here is another part of that. One time, when my sister was graduating, it was the last game of the season of the basketball season. And, of course, my sister was like, hey, let's have a party. She ran it by my mom. My mom said yes. And it just so happens that my dad was going on a business trip for about 3 days, I believe. He was going to the East Coast. And my mom was like, this is perfect timing. They had a party. It was supposed to last for like a few hours. From like, I don't know, like 7 at night to midnight the most. This party was supposed to last about like 5 hours. It ended up lasting 2 days. I don't want to reveal too much because a lot happened in that party. There was a lot of strobe lights, there was dancing, just a lot of loud music. It was just a crazy teenage party that was supervised by my mother. The thing is, a lot of other things happened, but I don't want to get into that because that's illegal. I danced. I did, what teenagers did. That very night, I got to witness so much that it was like the end of the world party. It lasted for 2 days. Crazy as heck, loud as heck. It was the epitome. It was the peak of my childhood. The absolute party teenagers must have, and one 6-year-old must experience once in their life. It was a senior party, and I loved it. I don't regret anything of it, except for a few things, but I loved it. Now you're probably wondering, Melinda, why are you giving us so much detail on so many parties that you went to as a kid? Why are we here? What are we doing? Why? That is your main question. I get it. I'm asking the same thing too. I'm giving you all these details because I'm showing you the little light of my sister's life. My sister lived a life of boyfriends, friends, parties, games, endless things. She was endless things. I mean, she was a prom queen, but she was endless things. Wanted popular girls. Like I said, she lived a crazy typical teenage life that you would see like in shows, TVs, movies. That was her life. And I was part of that. I was living that life. I was living my teenage years from the ages of 3 to like 9. I was just so excited because I was living through my teenage years. And now that I'm finally a teen, I'm actually 16 and a half, it's making me realize I'm not living that life. I'm not trying to be like, why isn't my life yet? No, I'm not like that. I'm just saying like, wow, I already lived through my teenage years. Compared to my sister's long list of things that she did as a teenager, it was crazy. And now here I'm as a teenager, it's more of just like art, awards, college. With my sister, I probably went to about 20 parties within the time of her being a freshman to a senior. And now I'm a junior and I've been to about probably 4 events, maybe, as a teenager myself. And they were a lot, trust me, they were a lot of fun. I loved them. They were so much fun. Possibly better than, my sisters, because they are my friends and not my sister's boyfriends. But it's weird. It's like, because I lived my teenage years when I was like 4 to like 3 years old. And I got to experience all of that. And it was magical. Something I remember still to this day, like a decade later, I still remember it. Wow. I'm living my elderly years right now. I'm just living my elderly years. I'm treasuring them because I have nieces and nephews and they're grandchildren. I'm still like not hip, I'm not down with the kids. I don't dab. I'm not a typical teenager. I'm more like an elderly woman. My aches and my pains. Like when I walked into the shop, my leg was hurting. I'm living my elderly years, so of course I'm hurting because I'm older. I'm an old woman stuck in a teenage body. Like, went through my teenage years, skipped all my adult years, and now I'm here as an elderly woman. Possibly an old man, and I'm just trying to live my life with my dogs, in my bed, and paint, and suffer. Just waiting to die, as always. I'm living through my teenage years now, and I love them. But I lived through so many more years of an actual teenage, like a proactive teenager life. From the ages of 3 to 9. It was memorable. A lot of things happened. I witnessed a lot of things. Maybe that's why I'm so screwed up now. Don't know. Don't care. But it's like, wow, I lived through my years as a kid. I didn't have a childhood. I had a teenagehood. And now I'm living through my elderly years, surpassing my parents because they are both in their 50s. I'm pretty sure some of you have dealt with this. Like, if you have an older sibling who you got to live through their teenage years with, you got to see like them with like the teenage parties, teenage hangouts, all the slang that they used as you were in kindergarten, coloring a bird pink. And then you get to your teenage years and you're just like, wow, I am suffering. I am paying on my own. Learning how to drive. I'm just dying. I'm just breathing. I think like an elderly. Like, I'm always just like annoying when I see like a young whippersnapper doing something dangerous. I'm just or like I said, I'm just an elderly woman just trying to live, just trying to breathe, just trying to live my life. But no, I'm suffering. Possibly already dead. I don't know. But it makes me appreciate my life now. I lived my teenage years like through my childhood. And now I'm living my teenage years as an elderly woman. And when I get to my adulthood, I probably will be dead. That's how I look at it. It's gonna be a peaceful life ahead of me. Yeah. Comment down below if you feel the same way as me. that you lived your teenage years through your childhood, and now you're living your actual teenage years as an elderly woman or man. Comment down below, or give this video a like if you agree with me. And don't forget to subscribe down somewhere. It's moved. So don't forget to subscribe me, and go down in the description below for all my links of my social media, including my fanfictions and on my Instagram account. Now, as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Now, as you will excuse me, I'm going to just continue to try and breathe. Bye, guys.